Hey guys, um, how's everybody doing out there? Marvin and Kid here, back again. Welcome back to another comic book review from me. If you haven't, check out me mentor Blue Goblin. He put out his review for the books that came out on the 14th. I'm here to deliver my review, as always. Um, Hope everybody got the codes that asked me for them. Hope everybody got them. Um, and as always, this was a pretty good week. I have Indie, Marvel, and DC. As always, it's pretty much, and it was good. Now, as you can see, I'm rocking my Miles Morales Spider-Man shirt because that was a good issue. This week's issue was really good. But let's kick it off, shall we? Um, don't worry, guys. Next review, I will definitely the opening will be back. I promise. So let's do this. So we're gonna kick it off in Dark Horse, and we're gonna kick it off with Conan Red Sonja #1. Um, you got two of the greatest barbarian characters ever created. Thank you, Mr. Robert E. Howard, wherever you are. Gail Simone does the writing, along with Jim Zub and Dan Panel, Panessa. If I butcher your name, I apologize, sir. Does the artwork. Um, this issue was not bad. You know, Gail. I don't think Gail's ever written Conan, but I thought she did a pretty decent job. Without spoiling too much, these two finally meet again because they have met before, but I think they're kind of showcasing that it never happened. But in this issue, they meet under kind of the same circumstances because, in a sense, they were hired by the same person. And they too meet, and of course, we're going to see a little bit of an altercation between them. And you know, Sonya, I love how Sonya goes on and talks about how you're not bad for a Sumerian. Like, she knows what Conan is. She knows he's Sumerian and things like that. And it was cool. She kept calling him dog and things like that. Um, but the obstacle that brings them together has them even going further. Now, did this issue kind of focus more on Conan than Sonya? A little. Conan does some things in here you're just like, okay, that's pretty much how Conan would act. But I'm still looking forward to seeing where this goes. I think this is just a mini series, but as of right now, not bad at all. Don't want to spoil too much for you guys. All right, keep it in Dark Horse, and we're on to X, issue 21. Uh, Dwayne Swazinski, Eric Nugent. This is the Mark. Enter the Mark. This is Mark for Death Part 1. That's the story arc that's going on. Slap myself. Okay, yeah. All right. Once again, I keep saying it. You want to talk about some violent shit? X does not pull the punches. Dwayne Swazinski still does a brutally but great job with this title. X is now trying to get an arms dealer that's selling weapons on the black market in Arcadia. Not only just weapons, but tanks and things like that. And X goes into detail how he's been trained to kill people. Like, he can kill somebody, and it's just like, he and Frank would be best buddies. And we see him, dishing out his justice. Leah, his companion, his friend, she has a stalker, and we finally get to see who this stalker is. And it's the first time in this series that we see that this person may be something extraordinary. And so when he meets X sees this guy shrugging off bullets, flying, things like that, and it's like, this is almost like the first time we actually see fear on X's eyes, like in his eye, like whoa, like I'm out of my league here now. And then another superhuman comes. So it's now, in a sense, ecstasy. He's like, I know how to kill a human, no problem. But these two, I have no clue how. But this was good nonetheless. I know this Mark for Death is going to continue through X, and then it's actually going to go into Captain Midnight as well. So good thing I'm reading Captain Midnight. All right, let's move on. Lazarus, number 14. You probably saw me tweet about this with a pretty cool picture of me smiling with this. I tweeted it to Greg Roca and Michael Lark. Another home run. This series has just been hitting it on every cylinder, guys. This is a series I do recommend you get on board. Find the trades if you have to, or if you can find them in single to catch up. I have to get me mentor caught back up on this because it was a series that he had that is on his pull list. I have to get him caught back up on it at Midtown. But in this issue, Forever has her brother. Her brother is the one who betrayed Connor's family. And there's more to it than that. And then we get to see something that Forever has been questioning herself. Is the man she calls father really her father? And it gets even more intense when her brother even kind of tells her, like, look, we saw you being created in basically a test tube. You're nothing more than a weapon. And it gets even further. And that's where the plot thickens. And I really don't want to spoil anymore because something happens at the end that was just like, ooh, okay, where's this going, Mr. Roca? I'm liking this. Where's this going? So, yeah, I don't want to spoil too much about this. But Lazarus has been great. All right. Dynamite. Lone Ranger, Vindicated, number 3. Justin Gray continues to showcase that you can take those great pulp classic characters, give them a little bit of a fresh new take, but keep the essence of the character, and he does. In this issue, the last issue we saw, Tonto got beat up big time. He got jumped and beat up, and almost like gang mentality, like they jumped him. Ranger avenged his blood brother and busted these guys up too. No payback. But did he kill him? No, he didn't kill him. Of course, Ranger's not going to kill him. And the kind of the love interest in this Irish woman. What is her name again? Her name is Fiona. That's her name, Fiona. Still is trying to figure the Ranger out. You know, she's throwing him signs like, yeah, I'm interested in you. And Tonto sees it, but the Ranger don't see it. And it's funny. And there are times where he's even Tonto even tells like the Ranger, like, you know, she's getting too much in your head and you're not focused on what we're supposed to do, is find the people who murdered the mayor and get back the money that was stolen by from Red River. That's the town they're in. And it gets even further in there as well, with more of a coup that's happening inside from the political standpoint of Red River, and gets very, very interesting. But a lot of it is centered around the Ranger and Miss Fiona here. All the signs she's just throwing to him, like she's into him. But there's even one scene where he even says it. I think he she wants to go riding with him, and she hears all the tales about Silver being very fast and everything like. So she's like, "Come on, let's put him to the test." And he's like, "Well, I'm sorry, Miss Fiona, but I pushed when I avenged Tonto. I pushed Silver a little hard. I don't want to push him." And she's like, "So why did you?" And so he goes on and he said, "Where is it? I remember what he said. He says, well." She's like, "What do you mean you couldn't say?" She's like, "It's a very straightforward question." And then he's like, "Well, I wouldn't know because I've never had a woman. I mean, that is to say, I've been busy." So that was just really funny right there. I thought that was funny that he put that. But this is Lone Ranger Vindicated, still good. I think there's one more issue to go. Yeah, one more issue to go, and we're gonna end it there. Dynamite has some cool stuff coming up in the future. Like they're gonna do their kind of twist to, remember the What If series in Marvel? They're gonna do some stuff like that, and one of them that I'm looking forward to is the Shadow and Red Sonja. Basically, it's what if everything you knew about Red Sonja was wrong, and the Shadow is what if the Shadow became lost in time and space, so he's in the future. I gotta see that. That's pretty cool. Uh, it's called The Alternates. Dynamite has some great stuff. They got one with Doc Savage. It's like, what if Doc Savage became his namesake? Or they got one with Vampirella. What if Vampirella returned to her planet, Dracona, and as a mere mortal? So she's on a planet of vampires, and she's not a vampire anymore. So that's kind of cool. I tell you, one thing I'm also looking forward to by Dynamite, and it's coming soon, is the team up between Lady Rawhide and Lady Zorro. I'm looking forward to that. Yes, indeed. All right, so that's all the indie. Now we'll move on to the Marvel. All right. Now, if I don't spoil a lot of things, guys, I apologize, because a lot of the Marvel books that I had out that I got were damn good. So we're going to kick off with, like I said, damn good. All New Captain America, #3. Rick Morender and Mont. Oh boy. Mr. Remender does a very good job in continuing and showcasing Sam's run with the uniform and the shield, and showcasing that he's truly who he was supposed to become. We get Sin here really plays head games with Sam, shows his past, how he became this, and this happened to him when he got his when he became the Falcon, showing the classic green and orange when the cosmic cube was used on him that gave him his powers to talk to the birds, things like that. She's playing a lot of mind games on him, saying that that was never who you really were. You were always, your shady self, which, as you all know, Sam at one time was called Snap Wilson. She's bringing up his past and things like that, and she's trying to get inside Sam's head, and Sam is like, like, you think you're getting in my head, you're not. If he had a dime, I love the line he said, if I had a dime for every time a wannabe Nazi came and said that kind of stuff to me, I'd be rich. He said something like that, but it was funny. It was great. And he he does a 180 uh, on sin and showcases that you're nothing like your father. You know, because Sin going on talking about, yeah, I did something that you couldn't do, father, and things like that. It's like, oh yeah. But I'm really worried about Ian, because from that last issue, and that's something that I think I'm hoping he's not. You know what? But because I actually like him as Nomad, but I love, Sam showcasing that, you know he has a friend, and of course his friend Red Wing. Red Wing plays a big factor into this as well, showcasing that he may be he may be the new Captain America, but Red Wing will always be by his side. I love that. All new Ghost Rider, number 10. Glad to see this is not ending. Um, so Robbie and the spirit that has inhabited him, the Eli Morrow, we get more in depth into who he was. He was this hitman for the Russian mob, but he was really into sadism. And so when he died, he loved his job. He loved working for the mob, executing people and things like that. And we're starting to see him really kind of control Robbie's body. And it's to the point even one of his Robbie's uh, classmates, or I should say bullies, figures who he is. He even says it. He's like, yeah, you're the fucking Ghost Rider, and things like that. And um, Eli takes over and starts to dish out his own kind of justice. And you have Robbie trying to fight. You really see him. He's like, you know, while Eli Morrow has Rob control, Robbie, Eli tries to break this guy's arm, but Robbie fights with the arm. He's like, let go of the arm, let go of the arm, and things like that. It was kind of interesting. Very good. Um, Dr. Zambo, aka Mr. Hyde, has is using his group called the Blue Crew. He've given them like a kind of a different strain of the Hyde formula that can turn them and into these kind of creatures here, as you can see here on the cover. Even Robbie's bully even is a part of this gang, and Robbie uh, wants to know more, because it seems like the person that Eli Morrow is after may know Robbie's family, because he even says it. He's like, I can't believe you would inhabit an innocent boy, let alone a Reyes. And it was like, whoa, okay, that caught me by surprise. So when Robbie is trying to fight for his life, well, Eli is taken over body and tries to fight it. Here comes Johnny Blaze, the original Ghost Rider, comes back and helps Robbie to understand. And I love the line, and I'm going to read it to you, what he says. Um, here's Johnny. Johnny comes in and says, need a hand, kid? And, Johnny's like, and he's like, remember, Robbie Reyes, harness your rage, coexist with the demon, but maintain your humanity, and unleash the unbridled wrath of vengeance on your enemy as a Ghost Rider, like a Ghost Rider. And Robbie kind of does that. He kind of gets a little bit gets kind of back control of his body. And it's at the end, and you got two Ghost Riders standing tall right there. And then by the end of the issue, basically Johnny tells him, he says, if you ever need anything at all, just call upon any of us. You've done well, kid. Way better than the rest of us ever did when it all began. For better or worse, you're part of the family now. You're a Ghost Rider. So it's like, once again, that's what I was looking for with with Johnny was like, okay, will he accept this new Ghost Rider, this new form of Ghost Rider, or will he try to kill it, or And Johnny, like I said, took on that role of being like a, Robbie is like the Padawan, Johnny is the master. But this was good. Look, the next issue is all about Eli, but that comes out next month. All new Amazing X-Men, the once and future Juggernaut. Chris Yost does a good job on this. The gem of Cedarek has come back to Earth, and it's so bad that Colossus can feel it coming. And it seems like Colossus is still laying the pipe to Domino, because she's in his room, and like I said, I think Domino and Colossus being together, I think that it's just about the sex. It's just a booty call. I don't think they, Nita's, Domino Nita is, she's a vixen, and she's what she wants, and but when Colossus Peter feels it, he goes tell Storm, and Storm kind of is very like, I don't want to call my auntie the B word, but I gotta admit it, she was acting kind of bitchy in this, and I'm like, damn, Storm, like, what the hell? Cut Peter some slack. Like, why are you doing this? She literally, Owen Flatshouse says she doesn't trust him. She, Wolverine vouched for him, not me. And it's like, but Storm, you've known Peter for how long? You were with him, you guys were debuted in the same year. So why are you acting this way? I can understand that they feel a little bit like, okay, could he snap again? Is the addiction to the Juggernaut power so strong that he will get off his withdrawal and take it again? And it kind of, in this, we kind of see maybe it might, but I'm hoping it doesn't, because I don't want Colossus with those abilities anymore. I hated him with it before. Like I said, it was like a drug to him. But the ending was really good. But this is, Yost does the best he could, and I was fairly entertained. I just didn't like how Storm was written. I'm like, God damn, Storm. Alright, not going to spoil too much in this bad boy, but Avengers number 40, Hickman. The only thing I'm going to say right off the bat is T'Challa, Black Panther, Black Bolt, Namor. Wow. There you go. What T'Challa and Black Bolt do to Namor in this, I was like, oh shit. Now, once again, I don't really understand where this story, the setting is taking place. Like, where does this, I'm still thinking this is an alternate timeline or something, because I think this is setting up for the all-new Secret Wars that's coming. That's what I think this is. But, damn. Sorry. Captain Marvel number 11. Kelly Sue DeConnick. Marvel. It's a little late, don't you think? Because Carol is back on Earth. It's Christmas on Earth. And she goes to pay. What was her name? Carol's friend Burke, I believe that's her name, a visit in the hospital. Then one of Carol's enemies that was in the last issue, along with June Covington, who was the Dark Avenger Scarlet Witch, I think that was, yeah, tries to take away Carol's power. She wants it for herself, and they do all they can. And it gets a little weird in there because it involves Santa and things like that. But other than that, it was fine. It's just that this was a little late, very late. You know, it's like it's a Christmas episode in June, in January, right? This right here, Daredevil number 12. Um, when Mr. Wade, when you end your run, I will salute you, sir. Um, I don't want to spoil anything in this either because this was good too. Continuing with last issues with the stunt master and this new stunt master, and then there's all these twists and all these. It was just like you gotta like, okay, where the, what the, who the, how, but uh, the way Matt deals with everything in this was very interesting. I did like it, and it just proved once again, it's like he's the man without fear, and you better damn believe it. Good stuff. You just throw that magic, right, Wade? You want to talk about magic? Deathlock number 4, Mr. Edmondson. Sir. Oh man, I don't want to spoil too much in this. What I will say is things are starting to catch up with Mr. Hayes. The people that are controlling him, especially Mustang, the woman that's always watching him, his mission, is really, you can really start to see she's starting to crack under the pressure of certain things, as well as Henry Hayes, when he's deathlocked, he's starting to maybe see things, even when they are wiping his mind, wiping his memory clean. He's still dealing with, you know, some things with his daughter, and it's really sad to see that a certain someone, that person, like I said, that's tracking him down because she's being blackmailed by AIM, uh, is talking with the previous Deathlock, Michael Turner, no, not Michael Turner, Michael Collins, excuse me, and she's asking him questions about it. Yes, it's she. Uh, just all kinds of good stuff in here. The drama just is really there, and then it's that ending, and I'm just like, Mr. Edmonds, I know that's not where you're going at with that. What the hell? But it was good. Guardians 3000. Mr. Abnett this issue picks up what's going on with Vance, Major Victory, Starhawk, and Martinex. What happened to them? Because we saw what happened to Yondu, Charlie, and Gina. We get to see what happened to them, and good stuff, very good stuff. We get to learn some more about the Starks, these robots that look like Iron Man, and they kind of are representations of Iron Man because they call Tony Stark by like almost like the creator or something like that. We get more interaction with this version of Star-Lord. We also get to see there is a Nova Corp member here in this. We get to see that. I think she is a descendant of a certain Nova Corp member that we all love, Richard Rider. Just really intense stuff once again, and Abnett does a good job with it. The artwork is cool, but it's the storytelling that really sells it, and sell it very well. Guardians 3000. All right. Miles Morales, Ultimate Spider-Man. First of all, I love that cover. Man, not a lot of action, just good storytelling by Bendis. We get this is the final conclusion of, in a sense, of Miles's dad working deep, deep, deep undercover with Shield to bust Wilson Fisk before he became the Kingpin. And we get to see a lot of drama in this, and a lot of edginess, and just the look on Miles's dad's face when he's telling the story to his son. You know, the indication that, you know, he feels he's not over the death of his wife, Miles's mother. You know, he's telling Miles he's sorry for running out on him. It wasn't about when Miles told him that he's Spider-Man, things like that. Just good drama, and you just feel it. You feel for what his dad is telling to his son, and you feel that just all the stuff, all the crap that he's gone through in his youth, you know, could have really set him on a way edgier path, but also he's, in a sense, not feeling that, harboring that much of a grudge for helping Nick Fury. He even says in this, you know, there were times I actually wish I had become a Shield agent. And it's like, but the fact is just a good, straight, good, dramatic, edgy issue between father and son. Couldn't go wrong. Well done, Mr. Bendis. Well done indeed, sir. Nightcrawler, number 10. Mr. Claremont, you will always be Mr. X-Men. And I love you for that. You have done so much. You have done so much for the X-Men. We fans can only salute you, say thank you. However, I'm going to be honest here. Got to keep it real. I wasn't that impressed by this this issue. It felt rushed. It felt really cliche, especially with something that happens to Kurt in this. I like the stuff that he was dealing with when he was battling Shadow King on the astral plane. I like that. I like the fact that he got to meet Amanda Seaton again, his love. That was somebody he really loved. But it didn't make up for me for the fact of, when I saw that scene, I'm like, really? Like, come on, like, really? Why go there? You know, but other than that, like I said, me nitpicking, I apologize, but I wouldn't be myself if I didn't express my opinion. Now, you don't have to agree with my opinion, guys, but as I always like to say, please respect my opinion, because I respect yours. Okay, all right. Last but not least, last Marvel book, and it's kind of funny me saying this, but yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, Star Wars #1, Jason Aaron's, John Cassaday. In a galaxy far, far away. Yeah, it starts off with that. Not joking. This was good. I very much enjoyed it. Like I said, I read some of the Star Wars stuff when they were with Dark Horse. So, but this is really good for me to jump on now. Was this worth the $4.99 tag? It's pretty thick because it has the other sneak previews of the other Star Wars series that's going to be out. You got the Darth Vader series, and then you got the Princess Leia mini that's going to be written by Mark Waid. I want that. The Darth Vader, which is written by Kieran Gillian and Salvador LaRocca, does the artwork. Maybe, but the Leia one, I definitely want, because Mark Waid, Terry Dobson does the artwork. I'm okay with. But in this, Cassaday, good job with the artwork. And Aaron's, Now it's kind of funny because I believe this series takes place somewhere in between New Hope, Star Wars, and The Empire Strikes Back, because it does go into detail that the Death Star was destroyed and things like that, and we get to see uh, Hans, Leia, and Luke trying to infiltrate an Empire stronghold. I believe they're trying to get the Millennium Falcon back. I believe they're trying to get him back, or it was really interesting to see. Um, we're showing Luke. He frees some slaves that they have. Um, Cuts this guy's hand right off with his lightsaber. They show it too. It's like, ooh. Then all of a sudden, when they think it was going to be an easy mission for the rebels, because they are the rebels, the resistance. Dun dun dun! Who comes? Vader. And uh, Chewie has a sniper rifle on him. He's looking right at him. And spoiler for you, you got Hans saying to him, Chewie, if you see Vader, do not engage. Do not engage. And Leia literally just says, Chewie, disregard that man. If you see him, take the shot. Take the shot. That is an order. And it was like, so of course, with Chewbacca, they're just going to have, the noise. So what does Chewbacca do? He aims, but unfortunately, he literally knows he's up there, and Chewie takes a shot and just blocks everything and tries to bring the structure down on Chewie, and then it gets even further in there because once again Vader senses Luke is near, and then it's like and then it gets better from there. This was good. It was entertaining. It just made me feel like nostalgic because when I first saw Star Wars, I was just like, "Oh, this is so cool," and it brought that feel back to me. It's like, okay, so for the first run, for the first issue, Aaron's, you do a good job, sir. Keep it up, Mr. Cassidy. Please stay on board with this. I love your artwork, sir. So at least stay on board for maybe 12 issues. 12 issues. If you can go 12 or more, I'll be happy. But if you have to leave short, please make it at least do 6 issues. But it was good. This was good. I can't wait to hear what the mentor has to say about this. But yeah, very good. All right. Just checking my time, guys. Sorry. Last books, DC. Grayson, number 6. Not gonna talk too much. The only thing I really want to talk about in this is the fight between Midnighter and Dick. And wow, Dick put it on Midnighter. He beat Midnighter in a fight, a hand-to-hand combat fight. And I love how he did it. Midnighter is boasting about how he's been watching Dick when he was Nightwing and everything like that. When you were the Flying Grayson and everything, saying, I studied that move, studied all your moves, blah, blah, blah. And I love how Dick catches one of his fists. He's like, okay, you studied the Flying Grayson, you studied Nightwing, but did you study, bam, Robin? And it was just like, he was like, yeah, you forget, I was Robin too. And it just showcased. I love that. I thought that was so cool. But then I'm gonna have to call a little bit of a bullshit moment, Mr. Seedley. Since when does Midnighter have psychic powers, hypnotic powers? I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I'm like, and I don't remember Midnighter fighting dirty like that. I was like, okay, but that was the best part. Just that fight, this fight, between Midnighter and Dick. It was good. Green Lantern Corps number 38. Jensen Chang. Basically, this centers around the fact that John has been temporarily or could be permanently leader of the Corps now because the Guardians have said that they need to send the Lanterns back to their own sector. And in a sense, that's why they sent Hal back to Earth, Sector 2814. Yeah. But, you know, John is kind of hesitant to take the position. The Guardians are all for it. But John is definitely like, no, you know, I wasn't that good before, so why should I? But he does it anyway and gets some new recruits, and they go on a mission to one of the new recruits' home planet, and it gets very interesting from there. But John has a little bit trouble with some of the new recruits. You know, they're kind of more headstrong than thinking. You know, they're like, you know, instead of thinking and analyzing the situation, they're quick to jump into it without really thinking, and we see that in this. And it very much plays a big part in the series. But it ends on a kind of a cliffhanger and makes you wonder where it's going to go from there. But this was very good. As you can see, guys, I have no Batgirl. I've dropped Batgirl. I'm done with Batgirl. Not for me. That's not Batgirl to me. I don't like it. I've noticed I'm dropping more DC titles than anything. That's kind of interesting and kind of weird too. But I ain't dropping this. Justice League United, number 8. Jeff Lemire still does a good job. The first part of the issue is talking about the Legion of Superheroes, going and kind of more getting the understanding of course, telling like a little bit of the origin of why the Legion does what they do, and who they are, and things like that. And then it starts getting more into where they're going. They're going into the past to help their Legion members that are already there with this version of with Jean and his team, you know, stop Blythe take over the little alien boy named Ultra and make him into what his future, or he's destined to become, this character called Invictus and Infinitus. And it kind of ends on a bad moment for the little boy Ultra, and you really feel for Jean because he promised that he would watch over him and things like that, and it's just like, oh man. But this was good. That was very good. All right. Ah, boy. Okay. Mortal Kombat X, number 1. Mr. Kettleson, Sean Kittleson, right? Mr. Soy, Dexter Soy does the artwork. Look at my face. 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 Yeah, this was good. You gotta understand, guys, I grew up with Mortal Kombat. Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, to me, are the godfathers of fighting games. There was a Mount Rushmore of fighting games. Somebody who represents Street Fighter and represents Mortal Kombat would be on that Mount Rushmore. This is supposed to tie into the upcoming game. We get a lot of characters. I don't want to spoil everything, but we get Kenshi. We get Scorpion, of course, and man, the Scorpion. My boy Scorpion is. We get I don't want to spoil too much. Oh man, but we get a lot of interesting talk, and especially between Scorpion and Raiden, which was really interesting, especially when he's talking about Earth Realm and their defenders, and there's not a lot of them left. And you see the two defenders left, Sonja and Johnny Cage. And I love the line that Scorpion says to Raiden when he says that. And Scorpion looks at Raiden and he says, "And whose fault is that? Why there aren't enough Earth defenders?" And right there, I had to go, Raiden, you may be a god, but you just got bitched out by Scorpion because he said something that stays true. If anybody's never played the last game of Mortal Kombat, there are times Raiden had ample opportunity to just change things and he didn't. And I love that line that Scorpion says, and he's like, yeah, and whose fault is that? And it's the look that's kind of the look that, it's not really a look, it's more like true words hit even a thunder god. And I remember Raiden just kind of just ducks his head, is like, disappears, because he knows Scorpion's telling the truth. Besides that, Hanzo, as you all know, that's Scorpion's real name. Hanzo has two disciples because the Shiryu is still going on. They're like hidden, but they're still going on. And, you know, Scorpion is still training. Scorpion in this felt a little bit like Ghost Rider, definitely, because there were scenes where he's kind of looks human, and then he lets the demon side of him out. And it was just like, whoa, okay. Things like that. But I don't want to spoil too much, guys. This was really good. And I'll let you see one part. Raiden saying, "It has begun." But Mortal Kombat X, #1, very much enjoyed. Like I said, look at my face. Look at my face. Look at my face. Yeah, I was giddy as a schoolgirl with this. This is great. Well, guys, that is all that I have this week. I'll be back next time for another review. Next time I will have the opening will be back finally. Just like Gabi has invited some of his friends, or should say himself, his other counterparts on to his show. Like he had his Earth 2 counterpart last week, and he had his 1610, the ultimate version of him on his show. I don't have an ultimate version of myself. I mean, I don't think you guys would want Hurricane to review books because he'd be very loud, and if he doesn't like you, he's gonna go on a rant. And this video will probably be over 3 hours, so you don't want it. But I do have a friend coming, and when he has the time, and when he is not in his busy schedule to grace us with his presence, I will tell you his first name. His first name is Lynx. It's like the cat, not Link. Lynx. But I can't tell you anything more. When I get the word he will be coming, I will let you guys know. But believe me when I tell you, I think you'll enjoy him. But other than that, you guys take care. This is Mama and Kid. To all my fellow comic geeks, peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys. As always, the Omni Geek High Lord bids you sayonara, and see you guys around.